Hello and welcome to a new episode of our program Cairo Local Time, during which we're going to bring you the latest political, economic, social, also sports and cultural events that are taking place in Egypt. With you today, Aman Mukhtar. I had the pleasure to be with you during the coming hour. This is a short break and I'm going to be back with you. Welcome back. We start this episode of Cairo Local Time with our local news bulletin. Well, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi issued on Wednesday a decree on appointing Tariq Amir as President Advisor due to his sincere efforts during the period of that he took over the responsibilities of Egypt's central bank since the year 2015. For his part, Amir expressed gratitude and appreciation for President Sisi's support, stressing that he retired from his post to bolster new generations to continue the country's successful development process. Amir also resigned from his post as the government of the Central Bank of Egypt after the decision. Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli affirmed that the projects of Decent Life Initiative top the government's priorities as it follows up the latest developments in all governorates. The Premier remarks came during his visit to Alexandria on Wednesday to inspect a number of projects of the presidential initiative, where Madbouli directed to implement those projects according to the scheduled time upon the directives of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in order to improve citizens' living conditions. At the beginning of his tour, Madbouli visited Abu Sir village in Burj Al Arab as he was briefed on a progress report on this project, as the Armed Forces Engineering Authority is implementing about 86 of them in 4 villages. Meanwhile, Madbouli inspected a services complex and a water pump projects in the village. Following his tour, the Premier gave statements on the outcomes of his visit to Alexandria, asserting that the government is working on upgrading all ports nationwide upon the directives of President Sisi. He also said that a new fish market will be established soon with the cooperation of the private sector in this domain. While Foreign Minister and President-designate of the UN Climate Change Conference 2022 COP27, Sameh Shukri, asserted the importance of providing climate finance to developing countries, including island countries, to enable them to fulfill their commitments towards the climate. In his speech at the inauguration of the regional Caribbean meeting on climate change that was held in the Bahamas via video conference, Shukri stated that developing countries, including island countries, are the most affected by the repercussions of the climate change, even though they contribute the least to emissions. With less than 90 days remaining before the start of COP27, Egypt has recently announced the schedule of the event on its official COP27 website. While spokesperson of the new administrative capital, Khalid Al-Husseini, said that once the 3 phases of building the city are completed, around 6 million citizens will be housed in the administrative capital. The new administrative capital city will become the country's administrative and financial capital, hosting dozens of foreign embassies as well as local government offices offices. The project seeks to relieve congestion in Cairo, which is home to more than 20 million citizens in Egypt. We have more in the following report.
The spokesperson of the new administrative capital, Khaled Al-Husseini, said that once the 3 phases of building the city are completed, 6 million citizens will be housed in the administrative capital. He said that the size of the capital is twice the size of Cairo, and it is currently in its first phase. Hosseini added that the most important projects of the capital are the Cultural Arts District, commercial towers, and the Government District, in addition to commercial centers and residential areas. The new administrative capital city will become the country's administrative and financial capital, hosting dozens of foreign embassies as well as local government offices. The project seeks to relieve traffic in Cairo, which is home to more than 20 million people. The new capital provides all its services to the masses of Egyptians who are not its residents, whether they are administrative, recreational, cultural, or other services. The plan to move state employees to the government district in the new capital will be implemented on several stages. Employees are scheduled to be transformed within 6 months before work is piloted from inside the new headquarters of the ministries and affiliated bodies. Hosseini's statements came during the first session of the Conference of Egyptian Entities Abroad under the title National Projects and Real Estate Investment Opportunities in Egypt, in the presence of Minister of Immigration and Egyptian expat Soha Al-Gindi. The third conference is held with 346 participants from 45 Egyptian entities abroad from 38 countries around the world, in the presence of representatives of various ministries and authorities. Gindi said that the conference places on its agenda the promotion of real estate investment in Egypt, according to the vision of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, in addition to introducing the achievements that have been made in Egypt since President el-Sisi took office.
Welcome back. While Minister of Health and Population Dr. Khaled Abdel Ghaffar announced the completion of the construction of El Khanka Central Hospital in Qalyubiyya. The project included establishing a reception, outpatient clinics, the morgue, accommodations, and physiotherapy and dental buildings. This came during the minister's tour of the hospital, after which Abdel Ghaffar directed maximizing its efficiency and fostering comprehensive development in all its departments. Well, the Ministry of Environment and Al-Azhar launched an initiative dubbed Our Climate is Our Lives to support Egypt's hosting the upcoming COP27 climate conference. The title of the initiative shows the extent of the impact of the environment, especially climate change, on the daily lives of the individuals. We have more in the following report.
Minister of Environment Yasmin Fouad announced that the Ministry and Al-Azhar launched an initiative dubbed Our Climate is Our Lives to support Egypt's hosting of the upcoming COP27 climate conference. Fouad commended the initiative, saying it is characterized by comprehensiveness, integration, and innovation. She said that the integration between specialists in environmental, climate, and Islamic Sharia sciences is planned under the initiative. Fouad added that it also relies on social media and direct convoys, presenting a distinctive initiative based on the solidarity of all people and extends beyond the establishment of the COP27 climate conference. For his part, Mohammed Al-Dwayni, Under-Secretary of Al-Azhar, said that Our Climate is Our Lives initiative comes as part of Al Azhar contribution to Egypt's national strategy for climate change 2050 through a cooperation protocol between Al Azhar and the Ministry of Environment. He added that the initiative implements a number of programs and activities to raise the awareness of the various segments of the society of the risks of climate change. Fuad praised Al Azhar Grand Sheikh's speech on climate in the Vatican, saying Al Azhar has been at the forefront of institutions that showed support for the COP27, which is the largest international multilateral conference touching climate change, a vital issue threatening civilization and building conscious future generations capable of addressing the effects of climate change. According to Fuad, a weekly convoy will be launched for a year, a monthly awareness campaign, 24 workshops, and 100 male and female Islamic preachers will be trained in the field of climate change under the initiative, in cooperation with the Al-Azhar International Center for Astronomy and Space Sciences at the Islamic Research Academy. Our Climate is Our Lives encourages the public's engagement in facing the global challenges of climate change within the framework of the preparations for hosting the COP27 Climate Conference and the National Climate Dialogue. The title of the initiative shows the extent of the impact of the environment, especially climate change, on the daily lives of individuals. Fuad said that the initiative aims to work to change irrational practices by humans and also referred to a media campaign launched by the Ministry of Environment dubbed Back to Nature, which aims to encourage awareness of ecological balance.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, with our main topic today. We're discussing today preparing youth for the labor market and the qualifications that youth should have for the labor market. To shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to host today in the Cairo local time our dear guest, Dr. Hiba Ashraf, Professor of Economics. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Well, Dr. Ashraf, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, since he came to office, he gave very good care for the youth,
Yes.
And he believes that, of course, Egypt, a country with a population of 60% of its population are youth. The president allocated a special year for the youth. How do you read this?
I think that the president is actually focusing on the youth because they are the capital of this country. We have a normal capital that is machines and things like so, and a human capital. The human capital for a country with high population is very important as a fuel for development. So that is why we have to focus on them and enrich their capabilities so that they could help us in achieving the development required.
Yes. So, Dr. Ashraf, in your opinion, to what extent did the presidential leadership program as the government's initiative succeed in achieving its main targets?
The program actually was a comprehensive one, and still it is a comprehensive one. It provides the candidates who are joining this program with a complete features
Yes.
that can be used later on, like skills, like information about different fields. It's a blend of public administration and political science, knowledge and management, and also economic aspect that can enhance this person to go somewhere in the government, work and become a role model for others. This person, when he is enriched very well, he will help others also to be better and exceed in their work, and this is the ultimate goal of the program.
Yes. Yes. So, Dr. Ashraf, how do youth fit into the 2030 agenda, or how can we prepare Egyptian youth to meet Egypt's agenda for the year 2030 of sustainable development?
Yes. There are 17 goals that, of course, will fit in with all the developments need with the youth. one of them is not about having education only, but the quality itself is very important. How this person is going to use the skills and the knowledge that he had learned in order to fit in the market. Also, the programs and the projects that the country is doing to cover the other 17 goals, people who are going to use this knowledge got in the higher education that they have got will fit in these projects, and we will at the end achieve as much as possible from the goals needed in the agenda for 2030.
Yes, Dr. Ashraf, the different national mega projects that is implemented by the state, how do you see these mega projects as a good opportunity for providing job opportunities for Egyptian youth?
Yeah, the mega projects are actually a good chance for the youth to be to have a place to work and a decent work environment, which is one of the goals of the Sustainable Development Goals for 2030. And actually, the mega projects are not only in one field, they are diversified, so they will need a lot of expertise, yes, either in the service sector or in the implementation sector, like the construction and so on.
Yes, yes. Doctor, how do you see the private sector role in empowering youth?
Private sector should work hand in hand with the government, because the government itself alone cannot cover all the aspects in the education and in the training. So the private sector should interfere in this part to fit and cover this gap in order to provide the youth with training, with volunteering, so that they could have experience in very big institutions that will allow, yes, them to be a value added in the labor market.
Yes, yes. So, Dr. Ashraf, how do you think the government plan to modernize the governmental system within the framework of Egypt Vision 2030?
The main title for this is digitalization. They are focusing on digitalizing everything. Yes. Digitalization actually will allow for a good chance for the youth to have chances to work within this context. The process of digitalization is not only saving time, but it also allows the services to reach each and every part within the government. Yes. So this is one of the ways that we can achieve the goal of the government through. The main thing is digitalization.
Yes. Yes. As we all know, and we can see on the ground, that President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi is giving very good care and attention to youth in Egypt, and that was very clear from the organizing of the youth conferences that took place here in Egypt, the youth conference in Egypt, and also the international youth conferences. How do you see these conferences as a good opportunity for understanding the youth more, and for exchanging point of views between youth in Egypt and
across the world? Yes.
Yes.
As I'm going to talk from my own experience, I have seen students that we empower to go to these youth conferences, yes, how they are passionate about joining the conference, how they want to join the workshops and meet other cultures and people from all over the world. This actually connect our youth with the youth all over the world. Yes. They could take some expertise from them, learn from some experiences, the different culture. When they meet together, they learn from them a lot. Yes. So it's a very good chance for them to express themselves and to learn.
Yes. Yes, I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information.
Thank you.
Dr. Hiba Ashraf, Professor of Economics.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Well, with this, my dear viewers, we come to the end of this episode of our program, Cairo Local Time. My name is Amal Mukhtar. Thank you for watching.